Hey, I'm Marty Mcdonald, and you've tuned in into the Audacity of Ambitious Women. This podcast is for all women who are ready to jump boldly into their next stage of life. Whether it's business or personal, it's time to be audacious. So let's get started. In this episode, we're going to break down some need-to-know information about the motherhood experience as an entrepreneur and businesswoman. There's never enough time in the day as it is to level up your business, scale, hire, build. Throw in the adjustment of a new title. It's called Mother, and the routine or lack thereof that comes with welcoming a newborn into your home. I did not take a maternity leave from my business when I gave birth recently to my 3-month-old twins. And that was audacious to say the least. Before we get into my story, and I want to start with some stats about maternity leave and the parental leave in general. And for those of you who aren't yet mothers or soon to be, this episode may be helpful for you considering what version of maternity leave will look like and how you will take that time to serve you best, whether you're a corporate queen or a side hustler. I hope this episode finds to be informative and inspiring. So let's get into it. So as a standard, the U.S. offers 12 weeks of unpaid maternity leave or parental leave for salary positions. But the average maternity leave may be shorter as parents head back to work to make up for those lost earnings. The average time for maternity leave in the U.S. is around 10 weeks. And the percentage of pay you will receive during that time varies from company to company. This information that I just shared was sourced from the American Pregnancy.org Association. One of the main challenges for self-employment, specifically for women who own their own business, is that need for formal maternity leave. In the United States, there is no federal requirement mandating paid maternity leave for self-employed individuals. And there's no safety net here for us, unfortunately, which can make maternity leave more challenging for business owners. As a business owner myself, you may think pregnancy may be risky, right? Like, why would one consider to get pregnant as a business owner under these terms? In most cases, you're probably right. Even if you're not a mother, and this situation affects a lot of women around us and a lot of businesses we love and we support. In 2021, there were approximately 12.9 million women businesses in the United States, accounting for 42% of all businesses that are women-owned businesses. And 4.9 million of those women-owned businesses were founded by women who have children under the age of 18. Their businesses account for $784 billion in revenue, according to the National Society of Women Business Owners. The number of women businesses founded by women with children in the U.S. has been growing at a faster rate than the national average. According to the State of Women-Owned Businesses report by American Express, the number of women-owned businesses with children under the age of 18 increased by 65% from 2007 to 2018. So with all that being said, if you identify as a mother and a business owner, I feel for you, sis, because I'm feeling for myself. And I'm not, and you're not alone because I'm in your shoes. And I had the audacity to say, I'm not going to take a maternity leave on this round of kids. And so here's how I did it. I prepped for my business for, probably 6 months of preparing for my business to transition into me getting, this new experience of being a mom of 3. I found out I was pregnant and at the top of the year. And when I found that out, there were so many things that had already taken place. Number one, I was already planning a summit where we would welcome thousands of women into Dallas for our first time in 3 years. On top of that happening, I also was prepping my new business that I had just launched, I just got news that we got into over 400 target locations, which meant I had to understand how to get manufacturing to prep and make 70,000 units. I had to prepare myself of receiving 70,000 units into the US, along with deploying it to target DCs and all that that would take, on top of shooting a marketing campaign, preparing a brand for different types of exposure, getting a team prepared for that, communicating all at one time. I'm not going to lie, and I'm going to sit here and lie and say that that was easy, because it was not. There was a lot of heartburn, there was a lot of stress, but I had to do it. Why? Because I'm a business owner who I needed all of this business. Number one, this exposure and this success was beyond my wildest dreams. And I wasn't going to say no. I just did what I had to do. I mean, listen, so often that's what we do as mom and as women. We do what we have to do. Only thing that I could think of was to prepare myself with people and with staff and with resources to help me not miss a beat. Now, here's what really happened. As I prepared for my twins to come, I knew I was going to hire a night nurse. I knew I was going to get help from my mother-in-law, who was going to stay with us for a while. What I did not prepare for was the possibility of having a C-section and a vaginal birth. You guys, I can't even make this up. 4 days before I was supposed to be induced, my water broke. I was almost 38 weeks pregnant. First of all, it's not even common to be 38 weeks pregnant carrying twins. So I was carrying full term. I was very grateful to God for that. But my water broke in the middle of the night on a Monday, and I was like, all right, we're about to do this. We're about to deliver these babies. They're ready to come. We get to the hospital, and everybody's head is down. Great. I can push. We can do a vaginal birth. I did a vaginal birth with my first child. I knew what that experience of recovery would be and what that looked like. Great. I can do it with the twins. Well, my daughter came vaginally, but my son decided he wanted to flip his body and stay inside, and turned his head back upside in my chest, and we had to do an emergency C-section. So not only did I have a vaginal birth, but I also had a C-section. And a C-section is nothing to play with, and the recovery of it is, whoa, oh my God, it's tough. And so as that was happening, I did not have the pleasure of having a lot of extended time. So while I was in the hospital, you guys, I was working. I was answering emails. I was doing as much as I could physically do. Now, with that, I also know that me being busy, for me personally, as a high capacity individual, and if anybody else is out there that's listening and they are high capacity individuals, you know that staying busy and exerting something is somewhat healthy for you. Because my biggest fear was going into a postpartum depression. I did not want to go through postpartum depression by just sitting around, because my life had changed so much. I go from one child to 3 children. That's a drastic change. And so for me, that was really tough. And so staying busy and having these projects and these announcements were a part of my postpartum healing process, in order for me not to sit in the big change that was happening in my life. So if anybody's out there and they're listening and they're thinking, I don't necessarily have all the resources or the tools. I don't necessarily have the finances to do a night nurse or different things like that. I need you to get a support system. I need you to get a village. It takes a village to raise children. Instead of us doing godparents this time around with the twins, I got some women who I knew would rally for me and my children and would pray for them. And I threw like this kind of auntie surprise with 4 women in my life that I could lean in and say, hey, I want you to be the unofficial, official auntie for the twins. But here's what that looks like. And here's the support that I need. I need you to pray for them. If I ask for help, I need you to respond. I'm not saying that you drop everything and you be there, but I need you to respond and see and hear me. Pray for them, and I need you to pray for me. And I need you to ask me how I'm doing. I need you to check in on me. And that was kind of my way of putting my own village together. And in doing that, that has helped me. But then also with all of the stats and everything I shared with you, you did not have a baby alone, right? You had it with someone. And my husband plays a significant role in making sure that I'm supported as a business owner. I couldn't be here sitting here filming this podcast if I didn't have a supportive husband. It's a Saturday. I'm filming a podcast. It's in the middle of the day. And he's at home with our 3 children, supporting, holding the house down as I go after and chase some of the ambitious and audacious dreams that I have for myself. And so having a support system, having a spouse that can support are pivotal in you being a new mom. And so making sure that you can get as much organized as possible, as if you're entering into the stage of thinking about having a baby, or if you are a new mom. And also just know you are not alone. Mothers are doing it every single day, and they're doing what they have to do. Hopefully, we soon will see some changes that take place. Hell, who knows? I might go and create a lobby bill and, for maternity leave, so other moms that are coming behind me can have some support and some resources. But just know you're not alone, and that there are women out there who are cheering you on and who see you, and you don't have to do it alone. I hope that this encouraged you. Just hearing my story of the audacity of not taking a maternity leave. As always, thank you for listening to this episode of The Audacity of Ambitious Women. If you like what you heard, and I'm sure you did, please let us know. Make sure to subscribe to our podcast and drop us in the group chat to spread the word. It's time to be audacious.